and welcome to this week's JL's quarantine sessions. I'm Jackie and I'll be giving you some points on flexibility. As you can see, I closed the door. There's a reason for that and I'll explain. So the first things we do need for props wise for flexibility is a wall, a chair for supporting our body weight, and a yoga mat. And the reason why I came through the door and shut it properly is if we don't have an access to a wall, we can lean against the door as well, as long as we're pushing it into the door frame. If at any point someone opens a door and you're leaning against it and it falls backwards, that wouldn't be fun, would it? Just make sure that there's always someone present with you when you're stretching, just so you can ask for help if you need to. Okay, so the first things we're going to do is just warm up a little bit in our shoulders by rolling back, a few times just to get the muscles moving and rolling forwards. Our bodies love circles, so any sort of movement will help it. So even a few arm swings, make sure they're not too close to the wall, otherwise you hit it like I am, and the other direction. And when you do one side, because you have two arms, make sure that you do the other arm as well. And that goes for splits, so you want to do both legs. Good, we've done the rolling around. So let's just take our feet parallel apart. We're just going to drop our chins to our chest and we're just going to roll and soften our bodies here. So we'll just do those a few times. It's up to you. So soften the knees, and if you want to do it 3 times, 4 times, you can do it. And then you can just floppy your head and just wiggle from side to side, nice and slow. And then just get your body to slowly waken up, and then you can roll back up. So again, you can do that a few times if you want. Wonderful. Stretching our arms, like we're just going to stretch in a big yawn, just stretching it, and then I'm just going to stretch my hip to one side and lean over to the other, so there's less weight on this side that I'm stretching my arms to the right, and then lifting up tall, and then just doing it again on the other shoulder so I can slightly lift the toes on the other side. Good. If you want more of a stretch, you can also do that by holding the wrist and leaning it a little bit further, or taking a wider step and then doing it lower on your arm. So you have those options as well. We're just going to hula hoop our hips just to loosen them up as well. And then again, don't forget the other side. If you want, you can stretch your chest forward and twist from side to side. And you can also interlace your fingers at the back. Bend your knees a little bit, keep your head down, and then just stretch your shoulders back here. Good. For our legs, let's start with stretching our quads. So I folded up my yoga mat to make sure that I support my knee on the carpet or wood or whatever surface you have on the floor. Sometimes it might be a little bit hard, so anything to protect it will be better. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. You can also use a cushion. So I'm going to put my knee, the back leg of the flexibility, right at the back to lean against the wall here. And then the front leg will be 90-degree angle. But here, look, I've already got my support. So if you need to put your hand on the chair or anything to hold on to, even the door frame is really good, it can help support you. So in this position, we're just going to lean back and then tilt our bottom forward so we can feel the stretching in the quad here, and it doesn't feel very nice, but once you loosen it off in a few seconds, it'll be okay. So try and hold that for 5 to 10 seconds, so really actively push that forward, and then you can release and relax. So when you release and relax, it won't hurt as much. And when I say hurt, I mean stretch. I apologize for those uses of words. Okay, so when you finish with that one, you can put your hands on the floor and wriggle that foot forward a bit, and you can try and sink your hips. So try and keep less weight on your fingertips, and then just slowly sink your hips down here. And if that's as far as you can go, you can do the same thing with the back foot. I'm not sure if you can see, but just push it into the wall, just push and engage your bottom, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, hold it for a few seconds and release. And then you can see that my hips have already started to relax again. You can do that a little bit more, just crawl your foot forward and then push it, the back foot right into the wall. You could go on demi point if you need to, push, 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 and then you can relax and slide down. When you're doing those exercises, remember that not one time will make it go into split, so you kind of have to practice a few times before you can get lower. For your front leg, you can also lean back here, flex the foot, and then like a key in a door, just turn your hip in and in and in, so you can feel some stretch in the front leg. To come back out, just put the weight on your fingertips and then you can just move your leg and swap the legs. Good, so we've got the quad one on the wall, which is really nice. Now we're going to do stuff on the floor without the wall. If you want to place your yoga mat long, you should start doing that now, and then you can do everything on the yoga mat from here. So I am going to do the same thing I did on the wall, but this time I'm going to have it on the floor. So with my back foot, it's going to press down into the floor, and my front foot is going to press down into the floor. So this front leg wants to go backwards, so I want to push that in, and then the leg at the back wants to push forward. So it's the opposite direction, but both feet will press down. So if you do 3 sets of 5 to 10 seconds, you'll feel it. Again, if you need the support, hold on to the support, but you want to keep your hips nice and square so you don't have like a weird twist of an angle, because it hurts your hips if you don't do it properly. So make sure that you're nice and straight, and you can always focus on something and just concentrate on that and look at that. So from here, I'm going to push this foot down into the floor, and then try and turn this key on and this key forward. So we'll push 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we relax. So you do just a few sets of those, and then you'll feel it already relaxing in your hips. If you want to try doing it a bit harder, you can bend the toes at the back and then press down by lifting the knee off the floor and then back down. Good. So once we've done that, we can also do the same thing where we bend straighten the front leg, and then just use your fingertips and try and pull your chest to like look as high as you can. So pull the floor towards you and look as high as you can, and you'll feel the stretch here. So once you've done a few repetitions of those, you can already start to feel that you want to stretch even longer. So you can go into runner's lunge, tucking the toes in at the back, and then just straightening the leg here. So if you can, take your fingertips off the floor and then just hold that for a few repetitions as well. And if you feel like it's too hard, you can put your fingers on the floor and then just straighten the knee off the floor and back on. Off and back on. Good. Coming out, leaning again, you can always stretch the front leg as well. Remember, with these repetitions, you're always going to do the other side. So here I have my chair and it's my support. So if I'm ready to try and go into splits, it's perfect because I can put my hands on and just use my upper body to fight the resistance if I do feel like I'm going to fall over. If you have blocks, then you can use blocks as well. So here I have my front leg ready, I have my back leg tucked under, and I'm putting my upper body on the chair, and I'm going to slide and make sure that my hips don't turn out like that. So I want to make sure that it's nice and equal, and I'm sliding. So when I hit a point where I feel like I can't slide with my legs straight anymore in an alignment, I'm just going to hold it here, and if I can, press my feet down into the floor and try and lift my body off of the chair, off, and then it will relax down a little bit more. So again, just do a few repetitions of those until you feel like you've got a nice stretch into position and it's all nice and equal. And don't forget the other leg. Good. Putting the chair away. Now let's try and start working on our box splits. So here we're going to take the legs in a wide squat, and I'm just going to do a deep lunge. So when I'm doing a deep lunge here, it's I can lean my elbows on my knees already. So I can just relax here, and then I'm just going to slightly do some movements here. And if I want a deeper stretch, very slowly put my hand on my knee and then just twist it looking over my shoulder. So again, nice stretch between my shoulder blades. And then swapping sides. We want to stay equal. We don't want to be lopsided, so that's why we do everything on both sides. Good, so putting your hands on the floor, we're just going to slide out one leg here, and then we're going to push the floor with our feet again and lift up. Hold it, try and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, and then bend the other leg, lift up, hold it in the middle for a few seconds, and then try and relax down to the other side. Here we do the same again of the same exercise, just so we can engage our muscles, lift it up, hold, and go to the other side. If you do need assistance, please use your hands on the floor. If it's too low, you can use the support of the chair. Good. So it's coming out of it. Everything you need to do, if you feel like it's a little bit sore, you can stand back up, you can shake your legs, and then you can always do hip circles, one way, the other way, and then you can also do hula hoops to stretch out your hips if it feels like it's stuck in the same position. These ones are also good if you feel a little bit more tight in the quad. Both legs. Good. Also, it helps with your balance, so if you do want to do a standing split, it'll help support. So if you can stand still like this, which I'm not doing a very good demonstration of, then you'll be able to one day be able to pull the leg up without falling over. Clearly I'm not doing it very well. There you go. Wonderful. So another exercise for box split. We're going to put our knees on the floor or on your yoga mat, and you're just going to turn your feet to the side, so you're flexing the feet, and you're going to lean your body weight on the front. So try not to go too far forward, otherwise you're just lying down on your tummy. Here, you're going to try and squeeze your knees in, hold it, squeeze, 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 and then relax your hips down. Again, a few repetitions of those. So squeeze, 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 and relax your hips down. Good, nice. We can do a little bit of a forward and back, but it's better if you just do a little bit of these squeezes first before you start doing the more advanced ones. If you want to do pancake, you can have a wide straddle, and then you can lift up your belly button and then try and play again with your hands. So crawling your hands forward, crawl, 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 and reach for something that's in front of you, like your homework that you need to do from homeschooling. So reach as far as you can, or push it away. I'm not sure which choice you've made there. And then you can have the pancake. So if you're in a wide pancake, if you have a box split, you can also start moving your hips forward with your upper body here. Good. Coming out of that, shaking your legs. Remember, you can always shake your legs out. And if you want to change the hip rotation, just put your hands behind you with your whole weight, and then you can just turn your knees from side to side. Nice. Good. We're going to do upper body and into bridge. So we're going to lie on our tummy. So from here, this is a good time to put a yoga mat on the floor instead of a carpet. But for now, I'm just going to demonstrate. So you're going to put your forehead on the ground, your arms are straight in front of you, and you're just going to do 10 arm lifts on one side, and then the other, and then both together. So for demonstration, here's one side, the other, and then together. After you've done that, you're going to try and lift and hold, and then down. Lift and down. Make sure that your shoulders are pushed out and up. So if you squeeze them in, it's a different feeling that you want for your bridge. So you can always do shoulder shrugs in here to feel the difference where you need to be. Next exercise is to lift, hover off the floor, and then squeeze your elbows down so you feel warmth radiating in your shoulder blades, that it's activating here. And then you can start to use your back muscles to lift a little bit more and do more of a crunch up. You can also do, when you're going to baby, you can stretch out your shoulders here. So if I have the palms of my hands, I'm going to drag them towards my knees and then just hunch my shoulders up to the ceiling. From there, and then arch into a cobra here. And then you can also go straight to downward dog, putting it back down your knees to baby and pushing your heels down. So those movements feel nice because it's a circle movement, so you can try doing that way. If you're in a cobra, you can put one hand in the middle and then also stretch your quad there if you want to, so you can stretch your toes to your butt. Good. Once we're ready, we can stay on our knees and we're going to put our hands together like we're praying. We're going to slide our hands down. So here I'm going to slide and I'm going to lift my bottom up to the ceiling and then slide my arms down. So I want to get my chest on the floor here. And then from here I'm going to push my arms down, reach my shoulder blades up to the ceiling, push, 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 and then relax down. down, so you'll feel it there, stretching out already. So again, just push and hold the static position for 5 seconds and relax. If that's too easy, you can always just crawl back, or you can use it on your fingertips or have a block that's higher. All these exercises I just demonstrated, you can also do on the wall, apart from the cobra and the downward dog. But if you do want to try it on the wall, have your body 1.5 foot distance away, put your forehead on the wall, and then you can do the shapes of the resisting arm away, and then both away here. And then you can have step away, you can arch here, and then round the shoulders here. So you can play with the heights, pushing the palms and then rounding the shoulders. Good. If you feel like you're ready to do a bridge, you can warm up your wrists. We're going to do a half bridge first. So we're lying on our backs and we're just going to put our feet planted firmly on the floor. Here I'm just going to tilt my bottom up to the ceiling and then lift onto my shoulders. Always make sure that you're looking up and you don't turn your head from side to side because it's quite uncomfortable on your neck. So from here I have range of movement with my arms. I can move my right hand down and then my left hand down, but they can't seem to reach my ankle, so I'm going to lift one shoulder through and then the other shoulder through. So I'm going to just keep crawling until I reach my ankles. So from here, you can see that we're just sitting down and we're hunched up. Here we're going to push the hips nice and high and keep crawling the shoulders until you feel your neck doesn't allow you to do that anymore. Push nice and tall and your hips up to the ceiling and push forward so you can feel this already starting to engage. And then you'll know that when you do full will, you'll be able to feel it in your legs. And then gently just roll back down. If you need to, shake it out. If you feel like you're ready to do a full bridge, you can start from this position again, but put your fingers facing down towards you. So here, if this feels like it's not flexible enough, you can stretch out your hands and then circle your wrists so you make sure that you prepare for all your body weight into your hands. So here I'm just going to put the weight into my head, lifting up my bottom again, and then here just slowly putting weight onto the top of my head and my wrist. So you can do repetitions of those until you feel ready to lift and do micro bends and then back down. And when you're really ready, push all the way tall, and you can walk your hands or your feet nice and tall towards you. Lifting up nice and straight, my socks are making me slide, pushing your chest through your arms, and you can just reach nice and tall. This is the reason why we should use a yoga mat, especially if we're wearing socks so you don't slide. Anyway, I'm very excited to see your journey, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. See you next time.